Here we go. All right, yo, another episode, man. Great chilling. I am chilling. And like I said, this is great chilling. And I'm the Mighty Mar. And Beanz, what's good with you, bro?
You already know. Beautiful Thursday. Let's get it.
This is a great series that we're about to embark on. How do we assess and value? And today we are talking about coaching, education, the value of occupation in the workplace, and also talking about customer service. So, a part of this assess and value series, we want to look at and assess and value certain domains of our world. So, for example, coaching, right? Let's start with coaching because we're going to talk education. We're going to talk the value of occupation, like a single occupation and a skill set versus just the workplace. And we're also going to talk about customer service. And I have a great Blender review. Blender is the sponsor for Dion Prime 21 glasses. I have a new box today that I want to reveal, and we are in the infant stages. So we're going to talk soup to nuts, shipping, email, everything customer service blenders today. But first, coaching. Culture versus wins or losses. How do you, Mr. Beanz, evaluate culture versus wins and losses when looking at a coach? Just how do you assess coaching, period, right?
See, see, I love it. I love this topic. Because let's go, sports from the beginning, right? Youth ages, right? What's important? Obviously I know you're a youth coach. You probably enlighten us to some of those intricacies, right? And then me, it's different for me because I'm on the outside looking in a way, but I'm definitely assessing these coaches, being myself, both me and you playing at the college level. That makes us have more of a keen eye
Now, when you say
to,
coaches, I'm sorry, I'm
yeah.
going to ask a question. When you say coaches, are you talking what level? Are we talking NFL, college? Because I'm an
Like I
8U
said, is
baseball
like
coach.
I'm getting to is we are starting from the youth level, right? At the youth age, what is important it probably not may not be as important as you get older, right?
But what's
So at the
important
youth
at the youth
age,
stage?
exactly. That's what I'm getting at. Is at the youth age, right? It may be about the coach being way more in tune with your kids, not the wins and losses. Like, okay, yeah, team's not doing too well. They're losing every weekend, but they love the sport. They love the coach. They want to go to practice. They want to go to the games. But obviously, as you get older, kids get more of that understanding of competitiveness and things as such. Now they want to win, right? So now the balance changes where it's like they don't want to lose. They're not going to want to lose every game. They're not going to want to do certain things. But then on the other side, what if that coach is a great coach, right? The players still love to play for him or her. And but at the same time, as parents, we're looking at it like yeah, they might like you, but you owe in 85. Like, nah, you know. But that's what we see in the real world, right? Is because you have a lot of coaches out there that players love.
Oh, and 85.
Period.
Hold on now.
Like,
Hold on.
but at the end of the day, is you have a lot of coaches out there that players actually love to play for. They end up losing their job or getting fired right as you get older because it's like it is about those wins and losses. So I think to me, just in general, off that initial my initial response to that topic, because obviously I hear your feedback and we'll chop it up real quick on your take on it. But I think it progresses like your expectations, like and what you assess versus wins and losses versus the actual coach, what they're doing for your son or daughter, like all that stuff changes as they obviously get older.
Right. What I assess and value in coaching, first of all, I value winning, right? I do value winning. I really do value winning. But I
At what age though?
let me hear me out. I value winning in the sense that you are promoting a winning culture. And a winning culture says, I am a better version of me today than I was yesterday.
Hmm.
Now, does
So you're
that
not
translate?
talking record then?
I'm not, well, I'm talking wins individually, right?
Okay, that's not
I'm talking
okay.
wins within. I'm talking culture. See what I'm saying? Like I can go different layers within the culture because if you promote a culture of winning over winning games, you are now producing a system and a legit culture an environment, a space, an area, an organization that everybody wants to come to only for the simple reason that they're going to come into that culture or organization and just be a better version of them tomorrow, right? Versus where I got to come into an organization and oh, this is a winning organization. We win games, we win championships, and game. You probably won one championship because you've had some luck turn your way, especially with football. And now or maybe you didn't win a championship. You got to an AFC championship, and now your culture is now going the other way. And I think about the Jaguars when I say this, right? I think about Blake Bortles getting to the AFC championship game. Why when the Jaguars going back and back and back? Like, was that really a culture of winning within yourself? Or was that just a culture of just winning games? We need to win this game because the Jaguars haven't
Doing
been
it
nowhere
by
near
doing
since.
it by any means,
You
right?
know what I'm saying? Like you just doing it by any means. So I look at culture when I assess coaching, and I also value the winning within that individual. And you said, right, my last point, because I know you got some feedback on this,
Yeah.
and I want to hear it for sure. My last note on this is that you said, right, I'm a youth coach, 8U baseball youth coach, and I love everyone that I have the opportunity to coach with and learn with because I'm learning, right? So the culture doesn't just start and end with the players. It also starts and ends with the coach itself, himself.
Absolutely.
So I have a whiteboard up here where I'm looking at how to make coaching easy for me and easy learning for the kids. So I'm trying to make drills that they can do and have fun and be better versions of themselves because they're gonna have a bad day at school. They're gonna strike out. They're not gonna be able to throw the ball to first base from shortstop. They're not gonna be able to catch fly balls. They're not gonna be able to hit home runs. Like legit, right? Like they're not gonna be able to. They literally don't even pitch. It's coach pitch
Yeah.
for a reason. So we promote them individually to get better versions of themselves the next day as they were before.
Yeah.
And we're having fun doing that. If you're able to do that at a professional level, yeah, you're gonna be like the
That's the
Patriots and win.
hard part.
So yeah, it's just that's
And I
how.
think and everything you say, I think we really taught the same thing, right? You
Mhm.
just definitely said it in another light. But as you get older, we all know it becomes less about fun, right? And more about production. Like, what are you doing, right? Statistics. And I think that's where the game changes. Cause I mean, I think for most college kids, that's when you first fall into the game and you like, man, this is a business now.
Right.
And we see everything going on in college now, right? So it's been like that though. For people that don't maybe know sports or haven't been involved on scholarships and football, it's like when you get to that level, that's when you are first hit with this is a business because your coaches, that's their job. They're getting paid very well to coach you. So at the end of the day, they are not playing. That is your job outside of school education is football, tennis, whatever NCAA sport you are playing, they're not getting fired for you because that is their income now. It's not like high school where, oh yeah, my coach is also the PE teacher or you know what I mean, like study hall teacher. Like, no,
Right.
it definitely changes. And the other thing I want to highlight too is like what you said about having fun and at the younger ages. Even with my kids, they broke the teams up already. He's 6 years old. Teams already have gotten broken up. And the one thing that the coach highlighted, female at that, is that fun. She said, "Look, if I move your team back or your not team, if I move your son or daughter back to t-ball, that's what it's based on." Because
Mm.
she was like, the last thing that I want is for them to be in coach pitch every weekend. They're not hitting the ball.
Not hitting the ball.
They can't swing the
Don't know where to
bat.
put their
They're
feet.
not
Don't know where to put
achieving
their
nothing,
hands.
right?
Can't see the ball.
There's no positive reinforcement.
Right.
So she's like, hey, they're going back to t-ball. But he does, like I said, like I assess coaches too, and I feel like I have a good feel for those good coaches. Is I noticed that even then they practice during the week. She still brings some of those kids over, to try to still get them built up, right? Get their confidence up. But I think the biggest thing is that maintaining their confidence at that young age to where you're making it fun. Because at that age, that's a lot of it is about fun. Because we all know as you get older, stuff that used to be fun Now it's a job.
What's
Now,
funny is
now
that I talked to an umpire before a game, and I'm like, "Yeah, man, I ain't worried about the score, man. I just want my kids to have fun." He was like, "It should always be fun at every level." You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't just be fun at like 8U. Like, it should be
that's
fun
true.
15, 16, doing high school ball.
But
Speaking of
we know
which,
what it is, though. What do you
yeah,
think doesn't make it fun? Money, right? That's what
yeah,
doesn't make
but the
it fun
money,
anymore.
like, if you ever do something you truly love to do, and because I know my son loves to play the game of baseball
Yeah.
because I'm there, and one day I won't be there. So maybe his love may wither like a little bit, but he has to know that I'm always going to be there, like even when I'm not, right? So I think the love of the game has to stem from a place of love. Like you can't birth the love of the game without a
But
love of
you're
support.
talking players though. Like, but when I'm doing this, I'm talking about owners. I'm
But
talking
let me
about
but let me get to that though,
those
right? Because like
individuals.
if you
Yeah.
love the game the way you love the game, the money will come. So the business side is the business side. Like I think that like the business side is always handled very well with players that love the game, right? Like LeBron James loves the game of basketball. He's going to be able to empower him since he loves the game that much. He's empowered a circle around him that allows him to handle that allows, the money side to be handled. So the love of the game has to be first. Money, is a very close second, but especially when you're deciding free agency and what, but at that point, like you're one of 5,000 players to be in the NBA ever. So, I mean, that's not a bad place to be. But you mentioned something with your coach going back to T-ball and having fun and positive reinforcement. I want to shift topics a little bit, right? Because you got your degree, right? You have a master's degree, you have your bachelor's
Yeah.
degree, and that's very important. I mean, I have a master's degree, I have a bachelor's degree, and I think that's very important as well. But where do you assess and value education when it comes to having those degrees, especially in this day and age, right? Having those degrees, how do you assess and value having those degrees now in this age and potentially going back and saying, hey, I need to get a certification in a certain trade? Like where do you stand with that paradigm?
I mean, really from my angle, I just feel like looking back and through experiences, like we all know, especially how the world has changed, like you said, and things have adapted. I think the biggest thing with degrees is people are just looking at that commitment part, right? That discipline, commitment, dedication, because that's what it says. Like, let's be honest. We all know when you
Mm-hmm.
talk to people about school, right? Like most people will say, nah, man, I ain't I'm not trying to do no more school, no more college, no more anything. But why are they saying that? They're not saying that because it's tough. They're 9 times out of 10, they're saying that because it's like they already know what it's gonna entail is, hey, after you get off work tonight, you're gonna have to do hours of studying, you're gonna have to take tests, you're gonna have to be accountable to get this thing. And guess what? It's not gonna happen in a week. It's not gonna happen in
Right,
3 days. It's
right,
gonna be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And I think that's an easy way for a lot of organizations to be like, yo, when they see that somebody has accomplished maybe a degree or a certification, they're like, all right, this guy or girl is, they're probably able to do the job or whatever they're asking of them, but they already know like they're committed, they're dedicated to something, versus taking the easy, and I'm not gonna say easy way. I don't want to make it, I don't want to label it that, but you get what I'm saying when it's like that's an easy answer, right? Hey, you want to go to college for 2 years, for 4 years, or you want to not do that, right? Most people be like, nah, I ain't trying to do that. So it's like
trying to go to college,
that's a
right?
separation. Yeah.
But what do you say about this general knowledge that someone's receiving? Like you've got a general knowledge and an understanding of something, but then when you go into the workforce, they say, do you have experience in X,
Something direct.
Y, or Z that you could have spent the same time getting those 2 years? So the 4 years you spent in getting the general knowledge, a degree, a general degree for the most part, because most degrees are general, right?
Right.
Most degrees
All
are
of
not
it.
going to submerge you.
Even at graduate level, yep, all the way up.
If I major in math, I'm not being submersed in
Straight
a,
math.
Well, let's say I have
Yeah.
10 classes, right? And I got 8 classes or 7 classes of math. Maybe by definition, I'm submersed, but I'm not submersed in the workforce scope, right?
Yeah.
So there's not a math lab around the street that I know of that has college students working there
Yeah.
every day, on a specific program. So but like you said, I am submersed in a way in math, but I'm just a generalist of math. I'm not really and math is probably a bad example because I expect a lot of math curriculums to be focused on about certain programs. I would expect that. I should do a research and see what true programs, math curriculums in universities are actually studying, right? Because when we come out here, this is the world of AI, this is the world of tech, this is the world of digital delivery, especially in remote workplace. So we want to be able to leverage those mathematical like softwares and promote that to college students and promote that to it can be in community college. But certifications, I think, are starting to take over a little bit more.
Hmm.
But I'm not saying that degrees don't matter, right? Degrees still matter. Degrees tell me that you have the capability of potentially running a business. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're a generalist, you understand reading, you understand math. And by the way, you have a degree in,
So,
I got a degree in operations research. So I understand like a lot of, and a lot of that's probably foreign talk now, right? Operations research.
and I mean, really, I think a lot of this stuff is, and when use the term ignorance, meaning like people just don't know, right? They just assume. So I can easily tell you the difference between a undergraduate degree versus a grad degree, right? Whereas certain people will be like, "Oh, I don't need education," but they don't understand even the difference between getting a master's versus a bachelor's, right? They don't understand the difference. And very quickly, I'll tell you straight up, undergrad, you're going through the basics. MBA, you are literally doing case studies on legitimate businesses real time. So when I'm going through my degree program,
Mm.
case studies, we talk about that.
Real
They
time
hand
is
it to
crucial
you
though,
real time,
because
marked
that's
out companies,
past ed.
marked out hospitals,
Yeah.
marked out their names, and they label them case A. But it's a real company going through real problems, looking for real solutions, right? And now the application part is what changes because now you're supposed to learn those basics, right? In undergrad. Now when you get to grad, now you're supposed to be able to apply this. So even when you take your test, it ain't no a lot of times there's not a lot of A, B, C, and D. It's now you are reading a whole situation, and then they're like, based on all this stuff you just read,
Right.
break the numbers down, statistics down. What is the best answer? And even the answer isn't even simple. It's like A, 2 sentences, 3 sentences. B, 2 sentences, three. So that is the huge difference. And that's why it ends up mattering because a lot of these individuals, females, males that graduate these programs, they are able to immediately graduate and then get into whatever job realm they want to function in and know what's going on because it's like, yeah, I have done this many courses and we doing relevant real time things.
Yeah. And you
And
bring up a good
I like
point.
how you hit on that.
And I like how you bring up a good point because you have 400 or 500 companies, and a lot of times the subject matter expert may not always be the best leader, may not be always the best CEO or executive. You know what I mean? Because experience with technical work is great,
Yeah.
but to have someone be, and I don't even like calling it a generalist because it's just you are deliberately in choosing a leadership role,
Yeah.
right? You are deliberately choosing a leadership role when you go and receive an MBA because you want something a little bit more greater than yourself. So I salute those that are continuing their education at a later, and especially a lot of these people are older people, right? Like
Yeah.
you're not
They
MBA
are.
at 25 and young, under are
It's starting to grow now though, and that's what tells you about society is that
they're starting
younger
to grow, but I
individuals are
say
now
that
getting masters and
if I had to
yeah.
take an MBA and age level, I would go 30 and over
Yeah, it's still there.
versus
Yeah, it's not that. Yeah.
because 30 and over tells me you've had some experience, you know what you want, you made a sacrifice, and you're probably not going to school again because you have kids. So whatever, so whatever you want to do, that's what you're going to do.
And that's what, and honestly, I love the fact you brought that up too, because that is what also makes it hard, right? Is that we were just talking about making it hard being committed to doing something that takes 2 years, 3 years, but it's like at this age, like you said, you got an undergrad, we young, partying, hanging out, right? But then when you go to the graduate level, you like married now you got kids, now you got
Yeah.
another job. And that's why a lot of people are like, "Huh, I ain't trying to do that, right?" But the other key point I want to make is the word matter. I love that word because I think that you have to make things matter, right? So I can easily say this degree doesn't matter, but it's like, is that really true? Or are you not making that matter? Right?
Yeah.
We've been talking back and forth about that, and how you said you even alluded to it, where you were like in the beginning of the convo, just talking about in general, like, hey, being a math person, right? It doesn't do this, it may not do this or that, but it's like it does if you make it matter, right?
Well,
If you go
that's
to a job or you're
yeah.
doing certain things and you're like, hey, this is my background, this is what I learned, and you're applying it to what you're trying to do, then now it matters, right? So when people say, certain things don't matter, I'm not always a big fan of that, because I feel like there's always that, you know, way you can shake that out to make it matter. Because if you can't, one, I would say, why are you doing it? If you feel like, hey, there's no reason, there's no, it doesn't matter, I can't benefit from this at all, then why are you doing it?
Right.
If you can't answer that question for yourself, then you probably shouldn't do it. But I will say this, a lot of times, if you do something, regardless of, like, we're talking education now, but it could be anything else, right? If you make it matter, I think it'll matter.
So you hit on a lot of key points, yo. So let's chill on this topic real quick. Right. Let's shift and chill, yo. Occupation versus workplace. Because you talked about like the beginning, right? You're a math person. So let's say an individual's occupation is a math person. So they're an analyst for, let's say, the Detroit Pistons, right? They're a really, really, really good analyst. They're getting probably good money. Maybe they're getting good money because it's the Pistons. But that's the thing, right? And no disrespect to the Pistons, but I know they're not really a good basketball team right now. So the workplace, the occupation versus the workplace, is it better to be, let's say, a very skilled mathematician or analyst at Detroit, right? Or is it better to be positioned at just a better workplace, even though I'm a towel boy, right? Like I'm a towel boy. I might not be getting as much, like salary plays into it. But let me just stop my analogy to the NBA. How do you assess the occupation skill set versus maybe the workplace?
I mean, for me, I just think it's to each his own, right? Because you read like I read, and there's a lot of stuff in the media all the time about individuals maybe making far less than what I would maybe be satisfied with, right? Or you, but they're happy. So I think that's exactly what you're hitting on in the ways when you say
Yeah.
a child boy doing his thing or her doing their thing, and they like, I'm good. I'm getting paid enough. I'm living all right to my
I'm in
means.
Denver. I'm good. Be getting
I'm
championships.
straight.
I'm in parades,
Like, yeah, the small
house
stuff,
clean.
right? And I like that you said that too, though, because you got the tangible and intangible, right? So it could be certain small things like that where, and it's funny you say that because now I think about something like, always, I'm not gonna say laugh at because it's not laughing at, but I think it's cool that security guards, right? When you look at these events, it's like huge events. People are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to see Beyonce by the stage. The security guard is right there for free, and he's getting paid. You know, and it's the same thing. Like, I'm literally watching the LA game. LeBron James is going for a layup. Boom, you already know he goes, gets hit,
Yeah.
falls down in the stands. Security guards right there, yo, just chopping it up, holding it vest like we hold our vests in the military. And it's like they're getting paid to literally be able to see greatness. Like, and they're looking at the game. This one, Beyonce in the concert, a lot of times they're looking at the
Yeah.
fans, obviously, to get their glimpses. But when you're talking about NFL, you're talking about NBA, they're in literally the scenes. And I think for them, that is their value. They may complain about the pay on the side, but at the same time, it's like you're literally standing next to Patrick Mahomes. Like, and nobody else can be that close. And you're not paying $3 million for a Super Bowl ticket. Like, and I think that's what I think of when it comes to a lot of those jobs and like what you're saying and what you value is it is a to each his own a lot of times of, just looking at that. We always say put things in perspective, right? So it's one of those where it's like, you start putting stuff into perspective to be like, yeah, this isn't the best, but I'm also getting A, B, C, and D. Then all of a sudden, like whatever you thought wasn't the best becomes a lot better than what you thought because now you're assessing like, well, I'm getting paid this maybe, but I'm only working Tuesday and Thursday. So or yeah, I'm only getting this or that, but I'm only working 3 times a month. Like, come on. Or from home or commute, right? Like you got people that are willing to travel every day, all day, every week. And then you have certain people that value, hey, I want to be more stable. I want a job that's here. And let's be honest, like if you choose to commute and travel, you are definitely probably making about, I would say a range of, and I would have to check this, but probably about 50K plus a little more than those that are like, yeah, I'm not trying to travel. But that is the decision because of course these same people, they would love to make $50,000 more. But at the same time, they value and assess that, hey, I value being around, value my family or whoever, or just comfortable. Um, that 50,000 means nothing to me. I'm good. You
What do you
know,
personally value
I think for me,
with
I would be in
occupation and workplace? Yeah.
I would say really is just, leadership. I think that's the big thing is who I'm working for, who I'm working with.
So more
So
so the
not just,
workplace part.
you said what?
So more so like the workplace, right? Like so who you working with matters more than like what you're actually doing.
I think so. I think so because I think that that's what makes it fun, right? I'll even throw in the military on this, right? Like how many times like you doing something that is not the best, and people joke about it all the time, but you in the field, 30, raining, you was there, snowing in Germany, like
Yeah.
you know, but you can always probably pull something out or you like, yo, we had fun doing this, or we had a good time doing that and laugh about it and joke about it. Even the point, same thing, right? There was a plenty of times where we were like, man, this is terrible. Like we joke, y'all geek me about where we do it down. How long was that ruck march show? Y'all saw me hurting.
Oh yeah, that
Y'all
was tough.
passed
That was tough. That was tough to
me.
see.
But the funny part is like that's what I mean though, is like, it's one of those where that's obviously not great at all. Most people would be like, I would never do that, right? But then when you talk about the people surrounding you and us joking and making light of it and having a good time, and then me and you are up here because of it, it is one of those where, you definitely I think there's definitely that balance of workplace, occupation, what do you value and assess? And we talked about a little bit even on other topics where, some people they are
Yeah.
the cutthroat, right? They are the cutthroat. I want what I want.
But
Like
let
I'm
me
going over everybody. But I think for the average person, that's not what they're doing. That's not what they're looking for.
so let me ask you this as we close out a little bit, man. We talked about a lot today. Sorry, as far as assessing and valuing
Yeah.
coaching, the culture,
And I
education,
was
occupancy in the workplace. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say is like the first thing you said about the sports thing. I don't know why I kind of missed it, but Mike Tomlin, man, like
Mm,
I
yeah.
just I just like what's going on with the Steelers. I'm a Cowboys fan for all y'all that didn't watch maybe the first few episodes or the snippets. Um,
Yeah.
but I like the sport to the point where I like those coaches and those players that I perceive as like just good people, right? And talented. And with Mike Tomlin, I was reading something earlier where he is recognized as one of those coaches that majority of players in the NFL want to play for, the favorite,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And that goes back to exactly what we're saying, right? And I have to put the stats on it, but he has, I want to say he has, it's definitely over 15. I don't know. I don't think it's 20, but he has the stat for the most winning seasons in the NFL. And that's the other thing that attracts me is because I know the players he has and how many coaches could win with them. And that is, how do you win with them? You win like that. You win by exactly what we're talking about, right? That
Yeah.
buy-in, that personable thing, that personal touch.
17 straight seasons, yo. 17
Yeah,
straight
I'm pretty sure it's 17 or something. Yeah.
yep, 17
And
non-straight
and
losing seasons.
and if y'all saw their roster after Ben, especially, it's like this dude's not even expected to make it to the playoffs, and he's still getting his team there. And you got all these teams paying all this money trying to pull this guy and that guy. They're not even making it to the wild card game, right? And this dude is still figuring out always how to still be a winner. And I think that is by far is what ties him. I'm always thinking about him and like what he's doing. Yeah, he's from the area too in a way. But at the same time, it's like that's what I highlight the most. And even then, forgot the player that just recently got in trouble, Sutton. Um, he called and reached out to him, and it sounds very personal because he played Cameron Sutton. He played for the Steelers for a while, and he recently got traded, and he has some legal stuff going on. And like Tomlin apparently reached out to him as a coach, and the media is trying to obviously, they're gonna try to do what they do, right? Try to rile something up and make it negative. Like, why is this coach trying to talk to a guy that did this? And we all know what it really was. He just genuinely caring about this dude to the point where he's like, hey, even though this dude don't even play for me no more, he did play for me. Let me reach out and see how he's doing because I know his situation. And guess what he told the media? That's none of y'all business. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
how like you just don't get that when you
Protecting
get
the
to that
culture.
level.
That's what coaching
And,
is.
and I mean, but you don't get that when you get to that level a lot of times because, like I
Yeah, you
said, the
don't.
money gets involved, and it's not the money of the players, it's not the money of the coaches, it's the money of these people up here
Well, that's why he's
that
like one
they
of
make it more of a job. Yeah, go
only a
ahead.
few coaches, NFL coaches that
Yeah,
have had that tenure as long as he's had, right?
I like that.
So let
Yeah,
me let me let me blend this topic, yo. For
yeah.
lack of
Blend
better
it back
terms.
to customer service, yo. I apologize, yo. I apologize.
Nah,
But
we good, bro. This
we
how we
only
going.
we
This
only
how we going
episode
transition.
3 guys. This is my third time.
It,
Like
no,
never never been here in this forum. A
hey, this
little
how we
carried
going.
away.
This how we going to blend it though. This how we going to blend it, right? So, Coach Tomlin, bro. You know what I'm saying? Protecting the culture, something that I value, and assess. With coaching. And we got Coach Prime now coaching out in Colorado. And he has brought, I saw a stat, about $18 million to the city of Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah, he did that
Not to
probably good.
mention that he has provided a massive surplus to a lot of his
Absolutely.
sponsors. And one of the
Absolutely.
sponsors that he has is blenders. So you see how I'm blending that topic in?
I like that.
Dion or Coach Prime, he has been very inspirational to me as a youth coach, right? AU baseball really means nothing in the eyes of anybody that's whatever. But to me, it means everything because I'm doing practice plans and building culture. I'm doing all the things that we talked about when it comes to leading a team and having fun and all that stuff. So I'm a glasses guy. You see these glasses right here. Fun fact, these are actually from Walmart. I use these for a skit that I use to be fish dot.
Tough.
Fish dot. If you see me out here, I'm just trying to feed my fish. Okay.
Yo did a plug.
I want to feed my fish. That's all I care about is my fish, man. Nothing else. Just my fish.
You're doing the free plug
That's
from
why
the
I have
DC
glasses.
cast.
So
They
fish
dope though.
dot might be back, but for now, I just use these to chill. Great
That's
chill.
all I'm gonna say is Walmart.
Um,
Shoot us a little note, man.
Walmart, real,
For the
real
plug. That's
inexpensive.
dope because they don't look like it. They look fresh.
But back to blenders, man. I tried out blenders, and we're trying to get products and things going. You see the hats, but what we're looking at, we're looking at this product here, blenders. So blenders came in a nice box, had the blenders box. I ordered some glasses for myself and my wife, actually,
Better.
in support of
Better.
not just Dion, but in support of the brand, in support of my brand, Great Chillin brand, you know, the way I wear glasses. Shout out Walmart. But you know, it came in with a nice little bag for the
Yeah.
glasses itself.
Hey,
Blenders, everything was dope. Had a nice case. Blenders, like I can carry it around with me wherever I
can you
go.
step on that?
Blenders as we
Can
blend
you
it
step on that case?
out.
Nah, I want to know.
Hey, remember back in the day when they had like it can endure anything. And it had like 18 wheeler trucks go over like the
Setting shit
case.
on fire. The glasses won't melt.
And it's still in mint condition. So
Hey,
like
but you toasted though. You toasted up, yo, with your glasses still survive.
it could survive the oven. Like, why do you have your glass case in the oven? All right, so
Oh man.
everything's pretty durable. Everything looks good, right? Now we get to the glasses.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
And for y'all out here, yo, I have not seen these glasses. He purposefully waited to show me this till we were live. So
Waited to the end to
let's
do the
peep it.
product. Everything was
Let's
great.
peep it.
I got emails every day. I got emails every day. The blenders are on the way. The blenders are here. The blenders,
Customer service.
the blenders have been made and shipped to your address. I was like, oh, okay, thank you. But this is, I like when it's too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was getting too much, but I was like, I can't get mad.
That's Amazon.
I'm up there.
Amazon tell you they around the corner. Yeah.
Hey, this is like Amazon right here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, you put them up there. That was up.
Everything
You
was
say
good.
that.
Everything is
You say
good.
that.
I don't even want to say was, but I'm going to say everything is still good.
Where are the glasses, sir?
Here are the glasses. What you think?
Give
Now these
me a
are the
second.
Coach Primes, but these are because I didn't want to
Give
get
me
the
a second.
I didn't want to get the Coach Primes because I felt that I'd have been biting. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't trying
I
to
would
like
say they're very coach oriented.
they're coach oriented though,
I
right?
get and I
Yes.
sense that. I don't think that's something you should walk into a restaurant,
Okay.
maybe, but I feel like it's very coach
So
oriented.
so after the game, I shouldn't go to Applebee's.
If you wearing your coach gear,
Say hello. Can I get a table for 15, please?
but it,
But
I guess the other part of it that I would ask, and only you can tell us, is the feel, the fit,
yeah,
all that quality. What do you think
feel the
about
fit
that?
is cool. I think the standard is, I mean, the standard is Oakley's, right? So
Yeah.
like Oakley,
Oh, I
like
got you.
Apple, it's like Apple, like,
Yeah.
and I actually have some really good product glasses too. But I do like Oakley. I'm gonna start looking at
You
Oakley a
do
little
like
more,
Oakley's?
especially with their brand that they have. But these are very good. I like the aesthetics of it. I like the darkness of it. I think it could be a little more darker right now. I'm looking at the screen, and some glasses are polarized, right? I don't know if they're
Yeah.
polarized or optimized for me to see the screen like I would with my Oakleys on. Because when my Oakley's on,
I got you.
I
So
can
you
see
talking about the lens now?
now with the lens, it's darker, but that's cool. If you remember the glasses back in the day where it looks like they had like film and they put it on their eyes,
Yeah.
it can have a
Yeah.
little bit of that material going on. But this is what we rocking with for the season.
But
Um,
I mean, and
I
like I
like
said,
them though.
I like the look, especially with the hat, and that's why it gives the coach vibe. It gives a sporty vibe, and I think that's the intent is beyond blenders. Like, why would it not be that, right? So,
Funny how we look at this and assess and value this because I feel like the customer service was definitely a 10, but more so the brand and the reason behind the brand, right? Because sometimes you might be that electrician, or no, you might be that towel boy and at a great team, right? And so with these glasses, I feel like I'm channeling Coach Prime. Like regardless of the quality of how I compare it against the standard,
true
like
fact.
I feel good because I'm representing Coach Prime, I'm representing coaching, I'm representing leadership and all the things that great
And
chilling
that's
is.
why it look dope. Like, I like it with your jacket. Like I said, is I just think it's very, very oriented to it's specificity, right? Like where it's specific to what you're doing, right? Like even certain running glasses, like if somebody go run a marathon, right? They're not gonna
Yeah,
come out here in no damn Kanye glasses,
right.
like running a marathon. Them joints gonna be spiked small.
They be wearing the
Man,
little RoboCop glasses.
yeah, robo clock glasses that got hella colors in it, like Blade. Like
Yeah.
it's like Wesley Snipes, man, back in the
Using
day.
their
Demolition
eyelids.
Man. Demolition Man, yo. Well, but yeah, so like what you highlighted is funny because we talk customer service, right? So you already know I'm big on that, yo. Amar, for y'all behind the scenes, he always hears me just, we go at it about it. We love the ones that are great. Just like he said, hey, Blenders did their job. He compared them to Amazon. That's pretty big for them to get compared to them. Um, and there's a few traits I even looked up, earlier today to see, hey, what do people really value? I know what I value, but what do they value that makes a business great? And problem solving is number one. So we all know with customer service, right? Problem solving is number one. So Lamar had an issue that he called blenders. How quickly are they gonna fix it? Are they gonna make it
They're
difficult?
gonna
Are
get
they
right
gonna
to it.
but guess what? Amazon same way, right? Like literally today, I bought behind the scenes being transparent. I bought the wrong fertilizer from Amazon. Wifey's like, hey, this is the wrong one. This whatever. Literally go on my phone, return, refund. They ask two questions. Take it here. It's gone. There's no wait, we don't trust you. Wait, da da da. Hey, we got to argue with you. Hey, none of that, right?
I
That's why
haven't
that
done
is
any
number
return
one.
service on this yet, but we gonna see. We gonna see. I think
So,
it's cool. I think it yeah, I think they cool, man. I'm gonna have to keep
so,
exploring blenders, man. And we gonna have to
so,
go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. So I'm just gonna go through a few. So clear communication. You
Right.
already highlighted that with blenders. You said
Yes.
they probably over communicated, right?
Yes.
That's number
Rather
two,
have
right?
over communication than
And
under.
then three, friendly attitude. The worst thing you can do is you already mad because something didn't show up right or you got issues. Now you call, now you arguing with somebody, right? Four, empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar used that a lot. We all use empathy, sympathy simultaneous. We always use that, right? Is sometimes even I'll use an example. Sometimes as a customer, right, you call company or business and in your head you're thinking like, okay, would you allow if this was you and the roles were flipped, you like, would you allow this to happen to you? And the person working on the other side is all of a sudden they have no empathy. They're
Mm.
just like, oh no, nah, you just got to pay 500, and you like, wait,
Like they can never
would
see
you pay?
themselves in your shoes. They can never see
Exactly, right,
themselves in your shoes.
right, and that's the empathy part. That's number four, right? Business acumen, and for those, that's more of even for the worker side, right? Is you have that hard balance where you're complaining as maybe a customer, right? But that worker still has to do please both parties, right? They got to have that. Hey, I'm going to please the customer, but yeah, I have a job. I have to help the company too, right? So that's five. That's in the middle. Product service knowledge. That's a big thing. Where if Lamar was to call blenders and ask about the product, hey, what about these shades? What about that? That work on the other side, can he or she say, hey, this is the difference? Hey, you were talking about film on the glasses. Like, this is what we got. Here you go. We're gonna go ahead and ship that to you, probably for free, because you're a great customer and you're doing a podcast. We don't know, right? So there it is. That's the product service knowledge, right? Then you got strong time management, which they had. You already said they shipped and you were tracking that. Patience, and then the last one, willingness to go above and beyond. I think the last one is huge because when you say the phrase willingness to go above and beyond, that is just being helpful. And what I found out even with things I deal with is it's sad when you can call a business or company and depending on who you get, things are just completely different because that tells you that that actually exists. So I call somebody and say, hey, I need help with this, this, and this. Now I got that person that's being difficult. Now I got that person not trying to help. Now I got that person that is doing all the things against what I just said, right? And then all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? Getting off the phone, I'll call you back. Call you back. Next thing you know, you got a guy or girl that's like, oh, I got it. I'll figure it out. And if they don't have it, guess what? Above and beyond means, hey, hold on real quick. Let me go talk to somebody.
Communication.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me validate what I'm saying.
Expectation
Let me get
management.
confirmation.
Positive
And
attitude.
and, and the crazy part is like that literally happened probably a week ago when I was like being polite, patient myself. Because a customer too, you can't call up there and expect certain things when you be in a certain way. Try to be patient myself. And I just told the lady very clean. I was like, look, I need to talk to a higher boss. And as much as she tried to keep me on the phone, I knew I was gonna get mad and whatever. She said, all right. Let me talk to the higher boss. And literally after going back and forth with this lady, 15, 20 minutes, the higher boss gets on the phone and he said, "Hey, sir, you've been working with us for about 10 years. You're a loyal customer. You're good." Literally in 2 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's where those other workers, they just don't get it, right? They don't understand that. But obviously him as the boss, probably make a little more money. He gets like, hey, our business is great. This is how we keep it great. Like it's not everything is worth going back and forth about, right? So with customer service, I think I love that topic. We're definitely going to time in on it again when it comes to food places. Can't wait because we haven't crafted how we're going to do that, but I think we definitely should just hit up local spots and start, just showing love where love's due, right? Like I know you got your great pizza spot you go to, like I have mine, maybe for wings, and I think that's pretty dope because when I think the big thing is when people do a good job with stuff like that, it definitely boosts those moods of the population, even human interaction, right? Everybody is happy, it doesn't seem cutthroat. And I do want to highlight those people, even the workers, right? That make it great when you go in there behind the scenes to show them love, to say, hey, yo, I love this business. This is why I love them. They're great. You know what I mean? Outside of Chick-fil-A, because we already talked about Chick-fil-A. They're outstanding.
Yeah, already, bro. We gonna kick it. We gonna chill. We're gonna hit them areas. We're gonna hit your customer service criteria. You know what I mean? Probably talk some little more stuff, man, about some other things, but y'all already know it's like that. Great chilling.